because I started as a meteorologist and I was always looking up to the clouds. And then I decided one day, I was like, wait, I want to go up in the clouds. And that's exactly what I did. So when I was in Nashville 3 or 4 years ago, I started learning how to fly. And it is just the best thing. And let me tell you, you definitely have a leg up being a meteorologist going to get your pilot's license, because a lot of flying is weather, and you have to know the weather and you have to have the right weather to be able to fly. And so that kind of put me like, gave me a little bit of a heads up or whatever to be able to go and get my pilot's license. So that was a lot of fun. And I mean, flying is just it's the best thing that I ever did. It's the best decision I ever made.
What do you fly?
I usually fly, excuse me, I usually fly Cessna 172s. So I'm in a flying club here in Baltimore and with a bunch of other guys, and we go up. I'm actually teaching. I'm also a teacher. So I'm actually teaching one of my co-anchors that I work with at Fox 45. And he is one of my students right now. He's coming along slowly, but he's doing really good.
Oh, that's awesome. So tell me a little bit about what goes into a flight. You're not just hopping in a plane and taking off. What are you doing to prepare ahead of time?
I mean, like as I mentioned, the weather is the absolute first thing I look at, and I'm looking at weather 3, 4, 5 days out because of my job, and then I'm knowing, okay, I have to fly on Saturday. So how are the winds looking? How are the clouds looking? But it's mainly about looking at the ceiling, and which is where the cloud deck is, and then what the winds are doing, whether or not I can take off on the runways that I have, because if I have too much of a crosswind, I'm not able to do that. The pilot's operating handbook of these planes say, look, 15 knot crosswind is not going to be good for the structure of the plane. So if I have too much of a westerly wind coming at me, I'm not going to be able to fly that day. And so that's very important. Obviously, if there's rain and storms, I'm not going to go up and fly if I don't have to. And I'm rated to fly in the clouds, but I don't prefer to fly in the clouds. I'd rather fly, through the clouds and being able to look down and see where the ground is.
How has being a pilot helped you in meteorology? Have you learned from being in the clouds?
Yeah, I think so, because I definitely am more attuned to what the weather is going to do for pilots. And I found a lot of different things to be able to learn how to find out what the weather is, just that pilots do, that I didn't know being a meteorologist on TV before. And so knowing that also has helped me really kind of understand the weather a little bit more. And being up there at 8,000 to 9,000 feet, when I can, see the towering cumulus clouds come up and oh, there's a thunderstorm over there. And you can actually see the rain shadow coming from a storm. And the ATC guy is telling you, yep, let's divert 30 degrees to your left and stay away from that storm. That's been really cool to be able to see that. And it gives me kind of a fuller understanding of the whole picture.
For those of us, me included, who perhaps have a little fear of flying and turbulence, do you have any sort of words of wisdom or comfort that can kind of help people when they are in a plane and they start to experience that turbulence?
I mean, I can tell you, when you get into a small plane like a Cessna 172 or a 152, it can be, I'm claustrophobic myself, but for some reason that goes out the window literally when I get in my plane. I have no problem with that. But it can be a little jarring potentially of thinking, oh, I have to get in this plane and I'm going to get bumped around. And we get bumped around. There's no doubt about that. But I would say, just try it. Try it on a nice, smooth day, where there's light wind, where there's, good clouds. I do a pilot cast on my show every morning. And I talk about whether it's VFR or IFR, which is visual flight rules, or instrument flight rules. And so pilots love that. And then I'm trying to educate the public to say, hey, if you want to go flying, today's a good day to fly. So, I mean, I say try it first, get with a good instructor, somebody at a flight school or something like that, and just go for a discovery flight. We'll take you up for half an hour. If you totally hate it, we'll land. That'll be the end of it. Or if you love it, you can, do it again. And I'm pretty sure most people, when they get up there after about the first 5 or 6 minutes, they're like, this is great. I want to do this.